Om Gama Ganeshaya Nama. So this is a very big challenge in modern context to know about the Kuladevata. Not many will be interested in knowing Kuladevata. Many are not even bothered. But for those who wants to know about the Kuladevata but has got no link, they're not aware, their parents are not aware. They've shifted to metros long time back or not connected with the village or the ancestors. I will be showing the process to identify the Kuladevata from a chart. Joy Ma. With blessing of Ma Kuladevi, Ma Kali, I'm starting this video. So this is a image of a deity, Lord Shasta, Ayappan or Ayanar. So he is also the Swarupa, uh, the male deity and son of Shiva and Mohini, the only female avatar of Vishnu. So Saturn denotes this particular deity, Lord Shasta. The problem with Kuladevata is the names and the localization depending on the geography. So even if you find the Gauri, the Shiva, the Vishnus, each deities has got several avatars. So to identify the exact names, the exact deity of the particular place, you need to know at least two things. One is the Gotro of the individual, because Gotro actually takes you to the final lineage, to the Rishis, Maharishis, from where actually everything started. And the second is the ancestor village, from which village or at least which district the individual belongs. These two informations at least are required to understand about the Kuldevata from a chart. Kuladevata. Now, what is Kuladevata? Kuladevata is actually a guardian deity. He is prayed and is worshipped for the protection of a particular clan, particular kul, a particular lineage of a family. So you will see many families whose lineages are there for the ages, like, 300, 400 years. In Bengali, we say Bonedi family, which means reputed, and very respected, reputed families. Those, like, whose ancestors were also very famous people, like the Tagore families, the Satyajit Ray's families, like these kind of families. So families, individual families also in villages, they used to pray to the Kuladevi. Now, that's for, like, any lineage, vriddhi, growth, prosperity, happiness, and also to protect from any misfortunes, bad lucks, and those kind of things. Kuladevata was actually the protector of that particular family. In that sense, this deity is getting worshipped. Now, these lords are actually worshipped every day or at least on the major days. Usually, in those days, they used to be worshipped every days and as per the family custom. So, every family has got their own customs. Every Gotra has got their own customs. Based on that, the puja is done. Now, it is mandate that for whoever is having the Kul Devata in the family, for any major activities in life, like a person is going for a marriage, going to overseas, going to any, like, starting up any business. So any big decisions in life, the custom was, and he is also, to go to the Kul Devata and do his prayer and give him a puja and take his blessings and then start the venture. In that sense, everything will go off very well. He's a protector. Now, these temples of this Kuladevata were usually in you know, the ancestors and the old villages where the ancestor used to live a long time ago. But, the migration has happened, and many urban people many urban people, and in fact many urban people, they have forgotten the deity. Many of them doesn't know what is a Kul Devata is actually what about, and even people has forgotten their roots. If you ask many of the people, like, nowadays, now after, like, this 1947 and everything, there is a partitions and those kind of things. So the roots, like, has gone from one place to other, and migrations and those kind of things people have forgotten. But this is a very, 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 very important deity to understand and to do puja and to take his blessings for any lineage, vriddhi, prosperity, and growth and happiness. It is said that Ma Kali, whoever do puja of Ma Kali, the lineage always have vriddhi. Now, we have understood what is Kula Devata. Now, let us understand Ishta Devata and Gram Devata. So, generally, during Adi Shankara's time, there were five school of thoughts, five sects. That was Ganapataya, Shakta, Shaiva, Vaishnava, and Shaura, Sun. So these are the five orthodox, like, thought process where, like, there was um, comparison and there was debates who was the greater, and, like, among them who should be the prey. So like that. So Adi Shankar actually unified the entire thoughts into a uniform concept called a Param Brahma. Like, this part of the same Brahman actually. So, so that every all the deities are become of equal status. So in that way, he like, this conjuncted all the five thoughts into a single Param Brahman, and which gives an opportunity for the devotee to actually choose a, a preference, having a preference, a principal deity for his main worship. So, this particular, this, the preference is God is actually based on his connect with the deity out of these five deities. So he used to pray other four deities also, but the main deity is the one which is of preference, and the other four also, in whatever form he used to do the pujas. The concept was that they are all the part of the same Param Brahman. So Ishtadevata is basically a deity of personal preference. So, like I've explained, even in the school, there are five, six topics. Which one you want to take, you have taken, but that's your major. The other topics are your minors. So, you're doing the master in the major, but the minors also you have to pass. But all a part of the whole thing called knowledge. So, Ishtadevata is that major which is of preference, a preference favorite deity. The practitioner here choose the deity which inspires him and who feels more connected to him. I hope you understand what I mean. Someone are more inclined to Vishnu, someone more inclined to Shiva, someone more inclined to Kali. So, like that, it's a preference. So finally, what is Gram Devata? Gram Devata is a deity who is worshipped by the villager for protection from any unseen mundane events, mundane challenges like, heavy rains, floods, pest, mandates, and epidemics and XYZ, so that the entire village should be prosperous and happy. So these are the main concept, like, general main concepts, um, which actually, like, other than the popular gods and all, the worship was used to be done in our Vedic eras, in our olden eras, even in now also, like, there are villages in South India and those places, even in Bengal also, where these type of Gram Devatas are there, and Ishta Devatas are definitely, like, we all do. That's we are aware of which one we prefer, that we have a preference. But Kula Devata is a question out here. How do I identify the Kula Devata from a chart? Now, from a Jyotish point of view, the fifth house is a house of worship, mantra japa, upasana. The ninth house is a house of tapas. S- So that means Like in fifth and the ninth, very important in terms of the deity worship. Fifth is related to ancestors, and fifth is related to Kuldevatas. Very strangely, if you see, the fifth house denotes the child, and the ninth house denotes the father. Also, the ninth to ninth is also the fifth house, so the father to father. So the grandfather is also the fifth house. Similarly, if you see the fifth house is a child, now fifth to fifth is ninth, so that means grandchild is also the ninth. So that means the entire flow is between the five and the nine. But the ancestors, the Pitris, are related to the fifth and the ninth. And Kuladevata, because it is related to worship, it's related to fifth house. Fifth and ninth, but majorly it's fifth, which actually guides us to the deity of worship. Deities. Let us understand the deities. Sun is Shiva, but in the first and the second reckon of a dual sign, it denotes Subramanya and Ganapataya. Moon is generally Gauri or Durga, but if it is weak, it is Bhadrakali. If it is in a maritime sign and weak, then Chamundi, or with black attributes, like all the Shaktis, the Ugra Chandis, Ugra Shaktis. Mars odd sign is Bhairava, Subramanya, and Skanda. This also you need to see from the Rashi point of view. There are Sattvic Rashi, I will show that. But in the even sign, Mars behaves like a female and he becomes Chamundi or Bhadrakali. Shakti is Mars. Mercury in movable and dual sign denotes Vishnu. In the fixed sign, the first two Drekkana he denotes as Krishna. That's also a avatar of Vishnu only. But in the third Drekkan is again Vishnu. So generally, Budh is like our Narayan, a Vishnu. So only in the fixed rashis, Budh in the first two Drekkanas denotes as specific Krishna. Jupiter is also denoted as Vishnu and temple as a whole or divinity as a whole. Venus in Sattvic sign, it is Annapurneshwari. In Rajasic sign, it is Lakshmi, and in Tamasic sign, it is Yakshi. Saturn is Shasta, the deity which I've shown a few slides back. Ayappan, Kirata. These are also Kuladevata for many southern families. And Rahu represent serpent god. So that means like Ma Manusha, like that. So sign-wise, if you see the Sattvic signs are the this Sun and Moon and Jupiter sign, which is Leo, Cancer, Sagittarius, and Pisces. Rajasic sign are the Mercury and the Venus sign, Gemini, Libra, Taurus, and Virgo. Tamasic are Aries, that means Mars and Saturn sign, which is Aries, Scorpio, Capricorn, and Aquarius. Now, the most important thing is the Prashna chart, which you have to cast at this point of time, invoking Lord Ganesha. Taking his blessings, the chart will come, and my chart has come something like this. This is a Prashna chart. So, clearly, if you see the important house for this particular Kuladevata, as we have already identified, is the fifth and the ninth. Fifth in general. The planet based out here, the Rashi based out here, the Lord where it has gone, and the Lagnapati and the planet in the Lagna are of the utmost importance. Clearly, we could see that the fifth house Lord, Moon, which has gone to the eighth house, and it has got Mercury based out here. The Rashi is a Cancer Rashi. So the Lagna having Shani and the fifth lord in the eighth house clearly suggest that the Jatak has forgotten about the deity, or he's not aware which deity it is. So the deity is basically lost. That can be clearly seen from the Prashna chart. Fifth is a house of Kuladeva, Cancer sign inhabited by Mercury, who represent Vishnu Roop. But Cancer is a female sign, and Vishnu is a Eunuch planet. So Vishnu, but female, that we could see. The moon is on Libra sign. That means the fifth lord has traveled from that particular Cancer sign and has gone to the eighth house. So this shows that the native, the original, the Ishkuladevata, that got lost, then a different deity is what being puja at his place, because we could clearly see that the fifth house lord has got shifted to the eighth house. So that means the original Kuladevata is not being worshipped at this point of time by this family, whoever is left in the family, and a different deity is being puja down the, like, puja is done. So we could see both the thing, like, which we have to understand. Now, how do we understand which deity these are? Okay, this is one more point which I have mentioned, that the fifth is a watery sign and Mercury denotes earth or mud. So that means it's an old temple which is near a holy water body, because Cancer is a holy water body. So that we can see a mud temple, a holy water body in the village where there is a deity who is being worshipped, which represent Mercury. And but the Lord, the fifth Lord, has gone to the eighth, which is like, which also gives an indication that the original Kuldevata is, like, is not being worshipped by the family, and maybe it has also got lost by them as well, that we could see. So this is a Vimshamsha chart. It's actually Parashara has given this in the Soda Suvarga scheme. This is about understanding the worship potential of an individual, the Upasana potential of an individual, where he has given all the deities' name, all the Shakti Rupa's name. So here, if you see carefully, the Lagna rising is also of a Mercury sign, and Mercury is there in the own house. Fifth lord, which is of importance. In a divisional chart, the house which are important are only to be seen. So in this case, the worship is in the fifth house. So the fifth house we will follow, and we will follow the one which is always a Varga Lagna. So the Varga Lagna is, like, Mercury sign, and Mercury is in the own house, and the fifth lord is exalted. And moon, as we could see in the Prashna chart also, moon was in the Libra sign. Here also moon is in the Libra sign, but with an exalted Saturn. If you see here, the Lagna has fallen in the Gauri Amsha. Moon has fallen in the Vaishnavi Amsha. Now, with this Vaishnavi is not Vaishno Devi. This Vaishnavi is basically Matrikas, the seven or the eight. Some say seven Matrikas, some say eight Matrikas. So this is that Vaishno Devi, the Matrika Vaishno Devi, the part of a Shakti Rupa. Like, this is the part of Shakti, one of the rupas of Shakti. Mercury has fallen to Sati, which is one more roop of Mata Durga. Jupiter is, since it is aspecting the Lagna, Jupiter is in, like, denotes a temple or Lakshmi. In this particular case, it has fallen, and Saturn has fallen into Pingala Devi. The fifth lord here is important, which has fallen to the Pingala Devi. Pingala Devi Mandir is there in uh, Jammu and Kashmir. It's there in the cave. So these are the possibilities which are which the Bim Shamsha charts are saying. But from the Prashna chart, we could see the Mercury, who is based in the fifth house. So that's the Kuladevati Devata at this point of time, but the original is the moon. So we will be taking the focus about the Mercury and the moon. Mercury has fallen to Sati. Now, if you see this particular Mercury, this Mercury is also the Karak of skin. Now, when I asked this native, the native said that the from his correspondence, he has come to know that his ancient village, the ancestor village, there is a Ma Shitala Mandir. So Ma Shitala is actually deal with the smallpox and the chicken pox and those kind of things. The Chaitra Mash, there is a puja. In Bengal also, Ma Shitala pujas are there. So Ma Shitala actually protect us from all those pox and epidemics and those kind of things. So rightly now, right this point of time, the information he has received is absolutely correct. It is Ma Shitala who is basically being who is the Kul Devata or the villagers or the families that currently they are worshipping. But how much serious the ancestors are also about doing the puja about the Kula Devata, that is not clear. But in this case, apart from this Shitala, moon is also very important. As we could see, you see, the moon is there with all the malefic, Saturn, Ketu, Rahu. So it is definitely Bhadrakali, Chamundi, or the that Parvati, or the dark side of the Mahaparvati Rupa, or that's the tamas Rupa of the Ma this Adi Shakti Roop. So in this case, moon has fallen to Vaishnavi Matrikas. So Vaishno Devi Mandir is there in Orissa actually. There's a seven Matrika Mandir in Orissa. So I would request the Jatak to come to Orissa once and do a puja of Ma Vaishnavi. Matrika Mandir is there in Orissa. You can find in the Google and everything. So you can do a puja of Vaishno Devi. He will definitely get a strength, because from the astrological chart also we could find that it is Vaishno Devi which has come as per the Parashara principle. And the deity at this point of time, which the family is doing the puja, the village is actually like, where the temple is, about the mud temple, this he has to confirm, the kind of temple which is there. It is there in the Libra sign, so sorry, the Cancer sign, so it is there in the watery area, and those kind of area, this particular temple will be there. It's of Ma Shitola. So Ma Shitola is the Kuladevata at this point of time, as per the information received, which is absolutely correct. However, there is a connection of, because we could see in the Prashna chart, the fifth lord going in the eighth house, there's a connection of Ma Vaishnavi. So Matrika Vaishnavi. So Vaishnavi Mata, he should go once to Orissa and do the puja of Mata Vaishnavi. So this is about this is how we actually uh, you can use the Prashna chart and you can use the Vimshamsa chart and focus in the fifth house, focus in the ancestor house, get two informations about the gotra of the individual, because it also leads up to the information about, like, from which clan it is actually originated. And the second one is about the ancestor village, or at least the district. Then you can actually come with this logical conclusion. You sing the Vimshamsha chart, sing the Prashna chart about the deity, the Kuladevata of an individual. I hope this video has given you some guidance about this Kuladevata, and maybe this can help you to understand your own Devata, Kuladevata, and get his or her blessings in your life. So thank you very much.